Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's funny. Every time I think I've got this whole parenting thing figured out, bam, new challenge unlocks. And lately, that challenge has been, well, the screen. So, buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into the wonderful world of screen time, specifically how to navigate it, not just survive it. We're talking phones, tablets, TVs, the whole shebang. I actually stumbled across this parenting guide the other day, and I have to say, it's pretty refreshingly honest. Like, right out the gate, it just comes right out and says what we're all thinking. Our kids are growing up drowning in screens.
Yeah, and you know what? It's true. And it's not just the sheer volume of screens, it's the potential impact.
Yeah.
You hear all the time about kids not sleeping well, having the attention spans of like gnats. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but
No, I know exactly what you mean. My kid can't even sit through a whole cartoon without asking to play a game on the tablet. It's like, what happened to just watching something?
right. And it's tough because on the one hand, you don't want to be that parent who's anti-technology because technology can be awesome. But on the other hand, you see these studies and they're kind of hard to ignore.
Oh, tell me about it. This guide dives into some of that research, and it's kind of alarming, to be honest. Like, there's actual scientific evidence linking excessive screen time to things like sleep problems, attention issues, even obesity.
It, the thing is, it makes sense, right? Think about it. The more time kids spend glued to a screen, the less time they're spending running around, playing outside, doing things that are good for their bodies and brains.
Okay, so this is starting to sound kind of bleak, but before everyone goes and throws their TV out the window, the guide does make a really important point. It's not about demonizing screens entirely. It's about finding that sweet spot, that balance, which, let's be honest, is sometimes easier said than done.
Totally. And this is where the guide gets really interesting. It goes beyond just setting arbitrary screen time limits, which never seem to work anyway. Instead, it introduces this concept of a family media plan.
Family media plan. I like the sound of that. So what is it? Like a contract everyone signs? Are we getting lawyers involved?
Uh-huh. No, not quite. Basically, it's about sitting down together as a family and having an open, honest conversation about screen time. What are our values? What are our concerns? What are our goals?
And then from there, you work together to create a plan that everyone agrees on. When I first read that, I was a little skeptical, I'll admit. I thought, isn't that a little like letting the inmates run the asylum?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. When kids feel like they're part of the process, like they have a voice, they're way more likely to buy in. It's about shifting from a place of control to collaboration, which is a good thing, right?
It is, and it makes so much sense. Think about it.
Yeah.
We're always telling our kids how important it is to make healthy choices, right? So why not give them some ownership over their digital well-being?
Exactly. And the guide gives some really practical tips for making this happen, like establishing clear screen-free zones in the house.
Ooh, like the dinner table. That's a big one for me. No phones, no tablets, just good old-fashioned conversation.
Exactly. Or maybe it's the bedrooms. No screens in the bedrooms after a certain time. It's all about creating those boundaries and sticking to them, which can be tricky, but it's so worth it.
It's so important. And you know what else is important? Walking the walk. We can't be asking our kids to put down their devices if we're constantly glued to our own phones, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. The guide really hammers home that point.
Yes.
Like, we have to be the role models, even when it's hard, because let's be honest, it's hard for us too. I'm just as guilty as anyone else of getting sucked into the black hole of social media.
Totally. But that's the thing, right? It's a work in progress for all of us. But the more we model those healthy habits, the more likely our kids are to pick up on them, and that's what it's all about. So the big takeaway here is that it's not about eliminating screens entirely. It's about finding that happy medium. It's about teaching our kids how to use technology in a way that's healthy and balanced and enriching, not all-consuming.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And, while this guide is geared towards parents, I think it has some really valuable insights for all of us. Because, let's be real, we're all living in this digital age, and it's easy to get caught up in the chaos.
So true. So maybe this is the nudge we all needed to put down the phones, step away from the screens, and reconnect with the world around us, even if it's just for a little bit each day.
Yeah. Like, what's one small change you can make today? Can you create a screen-free zone in your own home? Or maybe challenge yourself to put your phone away for an hour before bed?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired. All right, that's it for our deep dive today. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to connect with us on social media. Just kidding. We'll be back next week with a whole new topic. Until then, take care and happy unplugging.